Hi everyone, this is Paris Debono of the Fortune Teller Shop, and in this video we're going to look at what Justin Timberlake thinks about Britney Spears and what Britney Spears thinks about Justin Timberlake. So I'm going to start off with my Andy Warhol Lenormand cards, and we're going to see how these two pop stars feel about each other. Okay, we're going to look at how Justin feels about Britney first. I'm going to take out 3 cards. So how does Justin feel about Britney? Bear. Okay, well, bear is not a good sign. Bear often means aggressive, can be angry, can be jealous as well. The traditional card meaning for the bear is jealousy. Now dog and bear together, now this is also not a good combo. If you put a dog and a bear in the same room, they'll end up fighting. Okay, so I usually associate these two together with fighting and aggression, arguments. Okay, and then we've got snake. Okay, so it looks like betrayal. Now the dog can also be friendship. Now if you notice, the dog card is in between 2 cards that are not very friendly to dogs. Okay, so a snake represents someone who is not loyal and can be toxic. Okay, so I think he feels quite negative towards her actually. He sees her perhaps as someone who is quite snaky. Now the snake card could also mean another woman. So traditionally it also can represent another woman was in the picture as well for him. Okay, so this is not a good combination of cards. Alright, let's take out how does Britney feel about Justin. So 1, 2 and 3. How does Britney feel about Justin? Clover, stork. So the clover's usually lucky and fun. Stork can represent changeable, so possibly she sees him as someone who is a fun person and someone who's light-hearted, say. And then stork can represent a changeable person, someone who comes and goes, and then it looks like she's decided to cut him away. So I think she feels more like he was kind of more like fun and sweet, but then there was something that changed, and then she decided to cut him off. So looking at these 2 spreads, Justin's feelings towards Britney look kind of quite negative. The traditional way of reading it would be something big, something ferocious, but friendly. So perhaps he was fiercely protective of her at some stage as well. I've noticed over years of reading the Lenormand cards that when I see dog and bear together, I often associate that with violence or aggression. And then to top it off, we have the snake, which kind of shows that there was some interference or some disloyalty or some third-party interference going on here. So let's do the sum total of these 3 cards. So we've got 15 plus 18 plus 7 equals 40. Okay, now 40 is 4 plus 0 equals 4. And the number 4 card is the house. So this could represent he may still feel like she's, she may be part of his family, or possibly he's focusing on his own family. Or another way I could read it is that she has her own family. So I know they grew up together as well. As kids, they were both on the same TV show, the Mickey Mouse Club. So possibly he knows her family as well, or there may be some family situation, or maybe he's keeping quiet because of family. Okay, it could be read so many different ways, this one. So now let's look at Britney. Let's look at her sum total. So she's got 2 plus 17 plus 10 equals 35. 35 is the anchor. So 35 is the anchor card. So this could be read several ways as well. Perhaps she's buried things. Perhaps she's still thinking about the past. Although it looks like she has cut him off with the scythe. Maybe she's still got some, deep buried feelings about him. The anchor usually means holding on to the past or not moving forward. It could represent hope. So I think perhaps she's got mixed feelings about him, but I feel like she started off feeling that he was quite nice and quite fun. Something changed. Perhaps they travelled away from each other as well with the stork. And then there was a severe cut, but she still has deep feelings, perhaps deep hope, or she's not fully gotten over this. Another way I could say it is that she's still hooked in some way, possibly emotionally, about him. So now I'm going to ask the tarot the same question. How does Britney feel about Justin, and how does Justin feel about Britney? So let's start off with how does Justin feel about Britney again. I'm going to take out 3 cards. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to take out 3 for Britney. 1. How does she feel about him? 2 and 3. Let's see. So lots of changes. Wheel of Fortune represents things changing, movement. Then we have restriction. So he feels perhaps restricted about his relationship with her. Perhaps he sees her as someone who is restricted. And then it shows something to do with institution, tradition, instruction, doing things by the book. So possibly he feels there is restriction in their relationship because of some sort of institution, or possibly record companies or people in charge. Okay, and then she feels stuck towards him. There's powerful people involved. Maybe she sees him as a powerful guy, and there's a feeling here of moving forward with the Chariot. Interestingly, she got 3 major cards. So there's a feeling of being stuck, surrender, retreat, power, authority, worldly power. And then we've got here travel. Perhaps they traveled away from each other as well. Obviously they probably busy doing different projects and different things. Let's go back to Justin and take out 2 more cards. How does he feel about her? 1 and 2. And then how does she feel about him? 1 and 2. Okay, he feels burdened. And there was deception. So he feels that there was some heavy burden and some heavy deception. Possibly he thinks that she is burdened and not being honest. It could also mean that he feels he's holding on to some burden because of someone being sneaky. So let's see how she feels about him. Okay, I think she did love him, and there's secrets going on here. So there was love there. I think she has love for him still, and there's some hidden knowledge or something hidden that she's not revealing. Interesting. So I think if I sort of give a synopsis of everything that I've said so far, I think he felt jealous and there was some betrayal in their friendship. and there's a feeling of him still considering her part of his family, or perhaps there's a family connection. And then in her cards, I feel like she still cares for him, but she's decided to cut him off. And also there's stuff that she hasn't revealed and she's keeping buried deep within her. So probably she doesn't want to talk about it or want to make it known to the public. That's the kind of synopsis of the two readings so far that I'm getting. So now I'm going to look at the tarot board and see how they feel about each other, but I'm going to use his feelings towards her as the subject, okay? So Justin's going to be the king and Britney is going to be the queen. The bishop is going to be their spiritual connection. The knight will be their interest, invite, or desire. His desire towards her or his invitation towards her. And the tower will be the sexual attraction. His attraction towards her. So let's see what they get, these two. Okay. All right, so let's see. So interestingly, the king, Justin, is out of the picture, and so is his sexual attraction towards her, out of the picture. Okay, if we look at the pawn that represents Britney, it's on the devil woman with the chain. Okay, so he sees her as a person who's a bit locked up and stuck in her own ways. Their spiritual connection, the base is on the Sphinx, which represents mystery and secrets, and on the wheel. It's almost like a karmic wheel here. So their spiritual connection was meant to be, they were meant to know each other, they were meant to meet each other, they had a karmic connection. And then we've got here his invitation towards her, sort of on the moon. And the base of the pawn is on the moon and a little bit on Isis. So again, it's got very feminine goddess vibe here. This is the horn of Isis, which is the goddess of love and relationships. But the head of the pawn is on the crab or the lobster, which to me, I've noticed this kind of means crabby. So I think he might still have an interest in connecting with her. You know, he may see her somehow as a famous goddess in some ways, but it's a little bit crabby and a little bit creepy. So not such a good connection. Interesting how he is out of the game, and so is his sexual desire or attraction towards her has gone as well. So I don't think he's interested in her that way anymore. And I think he's not really wanting to connect with her strongly as well anymore. Okay, this is Paris Debono of the Fortune Teller Shop.